Welcome back to the Patient Magnet Podcast. My name is Jared Rohr, and I'm the CEO and owner of Aesthetic Conversion, a web agency that specializes in the field of aesthetic medicine, getting you more patients and converting them faster so that you can make more sales and have a stronger clinic. Today, we're going to be talking about advertising and specifically print media and display media locally. Oftentimes, I will speak at conferences and people will say, oh, print is dead, or oh, email's dead. And people will just kind of push aside some of these sleeper channels that they could be using, like magazines or like billboards if used properly. So what I want to talk to you about today is probably going to be a shorter podcast, but what I want to talk to you about today is how to leverage those print outlets properly. Because again, let's refocus and let's say, okay, for your entire marketing effort, there are four, if you haven't joined us before, make sure you watch episode 1, but there are four steps to your marketing funnel. There is fascination, which is attracting eyeballs to your business. There is acquisition, which is turning those eyeballs into a lead. There's conversion, which is converting that lead into an actual sale, getting that butt in a seat in your practice. And then there is engagement, which is re-engaging with that individual over and over and over for years to come. And with paid media, with paid outlets, that is your fascination level. That is how do we drive eyeballs to the business? And I always want to preface a conversation like this with that, because I am a firm believer that any outlet can work for your business. It is not a matter of, oh my gosh, I have to do TikTok. That's the only way I'm going to grow my business. Oh, I have to do Instagram. Oh, I have to do Facebook. Oh, I have to do LinkedIn. That's the only way I can grow my business. You can grow your business on any platform that you choose. However, there are some that maybe work a little bit more efficiently in your area. There's some that maybe work a little bit better with your demographic. That's what you have to figure out. Not what's the magic bullet, but what do my target patients want? And print media does work. In fact, I have a lot of friends who work over in the Villages in Florida. And if you don't know, the Villages is a retirement community. And oftentimes I will hear them call it geriatric aesthetics, where their average patient age is 78 years old, and they're not making these dramatic improvements. They're just giving people a little bit of quality of life, and they are not targeting those people on social media. They're barely even targeting those people on website. They're targeting them through in-person events. They are targeting them through print media, through mailers directly out to them. There's a lot of ways that you can get your demographics. And in this case, specifically, if you're going for a little bit of an older demographic, print media could be incredible. Now, whether it's billboards or magazines, let's talk about both of those. My biggest recommendation, if you're considering magazines or billboards or park benches or whatever for display, you have to make sure that you have a good system to track, because just putting a beautiful picture of your providers in a magazine is not, in my opinion, is not strategic enough, because you're going to be paying thousands of dollars a month for these premium placements, and you won't have any idea to know if it's really working. And the magazine will tell you, oh, we sent it to 50,000 people and blah, 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 and we did this, and this. And that's fine. And maybe it added value where it's like, okay, great, we just got our faces out there. But you can have some really firm call to actions in there, and you can leverage, I would say in magazines, leverage QR codes. I would not leverage a QR code for a billboard, because if somebody is driving past your billboard, you don't want them to get their camera out and focus on the billboard. You want them to keep driving. But for magazines, I would have a QR code that they can scan for some sort of an amazing offer. It's got to be something that's just delicious and rich. It can't just be like $10 off, which is fine, but it's not going to convert. $10 off is not going to convert. You want something that is, I call these self-liquidating offers, something where the offer pays for itself. So at minimum, when you're doing something like this, it's like, okay, great. What's near the cheapest I can charge for a first appointment for toxin? I want to preface this by saying I am an advocate for discounts for one of three reasons. You should give a discount if, number one, it is somebody trying something for the first time. You should only give discounts if you are rewarding behavior, in my opinion. You want to reward the behavior that you want. And the behavior that you want is not more appointments. You do want more appointments, but you want the right types of appointments. So there are 3 types of behavior that I think you should reward with discounts. Number 1 is trying something for the first time. If it's a new patient, absolutely. Thank you for trying us. We want to give you a discount. If it is a new vertical, they're a filler patient that's trying tox for the first time, or vice versa, a tox patient trying filler, or a facial patient trying tox, whatever it is. You want to reward people saying, oh my gosh, if I try new things with you, I get to save money on those services. And you're saying, absolutely. You want to try tox, filler, laser, and facials and IVs all in 1 year? We would love to give you a discount on those things. And why is that? Because all of a sudden they're going to see that you're an expert in all of those fields and that you could be that place that they go to where you are the safe place for their aesthetics. So number 1 is verticals. Number 2 is I know I'm going off a tangent here, but I want to make this point. Number 2 is bulk. Somebody buys all of their tox for the year. Somebody buys all their facials for the year. Somebody buys all their filler for the year. Absolutely, I'll reward that, or a package of lasers or whatever it is, package of microneedling. And you already do this. People say, oh, I have package pricing. It's like, yes, you are rewarding bulk with a discount. And the last one is loyalty. If they are a member, if they are attending your events, anything that inspires, if they are referring their friends, anything that is related to loyalty, you want to reward loyalty, bulk, and trying new things with you, having more verticals with you. So when it comes to that QR code, that first appointment, like we had, in fact, we had somebody we were working with, and they said, hey, for my offer on my website, I want to do $100 off tox for your first appointment with Toxin. And for us, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's a killer discount. Like anybody should go for that. But she was getting no one. She was getting no bites. And we're like, that's really weird. So we said, hey, what does that shake out to for you per unit? And she said, well, the discounted price would probably be about $9 a unit. We said, okay, what about this? What if we just put, if you're okay with deducting 1 more cent, $8.99 a unit for your very first Botox appointment? Not $8.99 a unit for any tox. It is not just the special of the month thing. It is, we're rewarding somebody's first appointment with $8.99 a unit. After that, it's going to go up to whatever her price was, $12, $11, whatever. But $8.99 a unit. And she was like, okay, yeah, let's try it. Previously on the $100 off, they were getting a 1 to 2% conversion rate on their site, which is, which isn't, it's not horrifically bad. It's not good in our opinion. We like 5 to 6 to 7 to 8%. When we changed that, she jumped to like a 15% conversion rate on page. It was like the floodgates opened up to the point where we called her and we were like, is this real? Like, are you getting real leads? She goes, yes, I don't know what to do with them. So that client was very happy, which is good. All that to say, having an efficiently worded offer like that is a deep discount, can fill up your patient pipeline. And then what happens? Maybe some of them are discount shoppers and they don't come back. That's fine. You didn't lose money on it because you got exposure. But a good portion of them are going to come back and for another and another and another and another for years to come. So I would highly advise you have a strong offer in those magazine ads and have them scan a QR code to opt into it so that you can track performance, track all the scans that are going through that QR code, track all of the form submissions that are on the site, on the page that the QR code goes to. Now, if it's a billboard, I would just advertise some sort of an incredible result and then tell them to call today. Like it wouldn't be something that I would want to track performance on the billboard, but I wouldn't want to make them read too much. You want something that is just, that resonates with your audience. You don't need to celebrate yourselves that much. I think oftentimes in this industry, we can see clinics make a good amount of money. And when they do, we sometimes create this doc star mentality, and we sometimes will like to celebrate ourselves in the clinic. But the thing that you need to be celebrating and elevating and promoting is the patient, because you are the guide on their hero's journey. So elevate their story, and on that billboard, I wouldn't say, oh, the coolest doctor, the coolest injector, the coolest nurse, the coolest PA in town has the most amazing blah, 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 credentials and whatever. It's like, yes, you do. but it's not about you. It is about your patient. So on the billboard, you can say something like reclaim, maybe you work with, maybe you do lots of mommy makeovers. It's, reclaim your body before kids or something like that. Something that they say, oh my gosh, that's me. You want something that is just like emotionally connected, that they can say, that is me. And then I would have a tracking phone number on there. Have your website, have a tracking phone number, that when they call it, you can see that they came from the billboard. Just something that you can track with, because that's the biggest mistake I see people doing in their efforts is not tracking properly with print media. So you want to make sure that you have a good QR code on magazines or any other mailer or anything like that, and that you've got a trackable phone number in the billboard. Now, you'll probably say, Jared, how do I do that? I don't know how to track a QR code. I don't know how to do any of that. What I would say is that you need a good CRM, client relationship management software. There are a handful that I would recommend. Number one, if you have Aesthetic Record, I would highly recommend that you get Lead AR. It is super integrated into Aesthetic Record. It is a fantastic CRM. You can get Go High Level. You can get HubSpot. You can get Active Campaign. There's a good amount of decent CRMs, or if you're working with an ad agency or a web agency, oftentimes they'll have a CRM that you can use, like a white labeled CRM that you can use. I would recommend having a good cadence on it. That way, when somebody scans that QR code, when somebody calls that phone number, you can link it into the CRM and track performance. Because a lot of CRMs will do what's called source reporting. And they will say, where was your primary lead source this year? And you can see where your lead sources came from. So every year when you audit your marketing efforts, or maybe every 6 months when you audit your marketing efforts, you can say, oh, wow, we got so much performance out of this, this, and this. So I would recommend driving all of that attention into your CRM so that you can track the performance from there. Because the biggest mistake I see clinics making right now is they don't track enough. They don't know what the numbers mean. They don't know why they're important. So that's kind of everything that I've got on print media and display media. Is just make sure that you're tracking, make sure that your offers are absolutely irresistibly delicious, and ensure that you have a good pipeline for them to run into when they do submit those forms. So thank you so much for listening to The Patient Magnet today. I know it was a little bit of a shorter episode, but I just wanted to pop on and give you a few of those tips. So once again, my name is Jared Rohr, the CEO and founder of Aesthetic Conversion, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know if you have any comments or anything like that. You can pop them. If you're in Spotify, you can pop comments down below. Make sure that you're following this podcast. It really helps for our visibility and helps me to know who's interested. Yeah, that's great. Let me know if you have any thoughts. If not, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.